resolute of heart, make firm thy mind. The tongue of a man is the rudder of the boat, but the Lord of all is its pilot. Cast not thy heart after riches, there's no ignoring fate and destiny. Place not thy thoughts on things outside, every man is destined for his hour.
On feeling goods where all of your cash went, not chakra alignment or inward refinement. Trying to find one word to describe men. Better yet, can one consciousness unify them? Pondering on these questions is where my time spent. Creative process, believe me, greatness got to achieve it. Ideas we believe in, positive mind, gotta reach in it. Putting effort to bring forth this new being. You're not consumed by the lust for things, but knows that his worth is determined by words and deeds. Your mind is affected by words and deeds. Your thoughts are keys to what you're trying to see, and what you're trying to see should be to reach your goals. Hold on to your dreams, keys open doors. Since you can't always choose circumstances, make sure that you use your thoughts wisely. Choose advancement, work towards the future. Now's your chance, kid. Accept responsibility, avoid resentment. Actions always take root from what you think about. Things ain't going your way, ain't it hard to figure out why? Why? Ask why. Ain't gotta tell you, it's right in front of your eyes. So in following these principles, you'll find along the road you're the only one responsible for your soul. It's no coincidence. Take control of your life, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. You take control, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Yeah, it's no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Nah, it's no coincidence.
Old shells are highly prized. And this one is occupied by a sarcastic fringe.
It was the most memorable time of my life. It was a touching moment because I never thought this day would ever happen. I won't have to worry about putting gas in my car. I won't have to worry about paying my mortgage. You know, if I help him, he's gonna help me.
How do you give you a phone?
You sign up if you on food stamps, you on Social Security, you got low income, you disability.
Why are you here?
To get some money.
What kind of money?
Obama money.
Where's it coming from?
Obama.
And where did Obama get it?
I don't know his stash. I don't know. I don't know where he got it from. But he giving it to us to help us. We love him. That's why we voted for him.
I won't have to worry about putting gas in my car. I won't have to worry about paying my mortgage.
Did Obama pay for your mortgage? And did he pay for your gas?
Absolutely not. Mortgage got worse and prices got higher. During that time, we needed a change, but a change for the better, not for the worse. He had a very big voice, just like the Wizard of Oz. The wizard with this little teeny, tiny man. And I think it's the same thing with Obama, man behind the curtain. Not who we thought or expected him to be. I was Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz. That's how I feel. I was Dorothy. I started getting a little bit more educated about politics and reading more. What I learned is never trust the wizard. It's within ourselves to have the determination, the courage, and the brains to bring us to our destiny.
If you got a business, you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen.
Going into this night, where do we stand?
This is where we stood coming into the night, 268 to 204, so clearly an advantage for Secretary Clinton.
Take a look here. If Donald Trump wins tonight, no matter who they voted for, take a look at these numbers here. 21% say they'll be concerned. 37% say they'll be scared.
This is what both candidates want. They want to be living there starting January 20th of next year. Florida has been going back and forth, just changed again. It's only 11,000 vote lead just now. It changed.
Math on your feet. I like this.
The Empire State Building in New York City. Take a look at our running tally of the electoral vote. Anderson, this night is turning out to be a real nail-biter.
All along, the Trump campaign has been saying that
Florida's a must-win for them.
Absolutely.
And I mean,
They can't win without it.
Donald Trump will carry the state of Florida.
You know, I'm guessing that the people in Brooklyn, I can see their fingers
That's
probably.
the Hillary Clinton headquarters.
Yeah, fingers probably bleeding because there's no more nail to bite.
I wouldn't call anything encouraging for Hillary Clinton at the moment, to be honest with you, my friend.
Wolf, the scene here is so different than it was a few hours ago when people were happy and relaxed. I have been looking around the room at people who are stone-faced. Some of them have been crying.
This was a white lash against a changing country. It was a white lash against a black president.
This is the people rising up saying it's time to listen to us. It's time to listen to us in Michigan and Wisconsin and work for the people.
Hillary Clinton has called Donald Trump to concede the race.
Came outside to try to process all this.
Hillary will never take us to the promised land.
I mean,
Come on, try getting it out. Try getting it out. Go ahead.
I can't even.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to put this on television, but you don't even know what you're talking about. Try getting it out. Go ahead.
I can't.
It's the fact that I say things that people agree with. Because I tell the truth.
I mean,
She was the worst Secretary of State in the history of our nation. Why would she be a good president?
I can't.
Come on, try getting it out.
I can't put it into words. I don't know what the words are.
The fake media tried to stop us from going to the White House, but I'm president and they're not.
It's a lot to process.
You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news in half with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. What's up, people? What's up, New Haven? What's up, Facebook, Twitter? It's getting really crazy out there. Almost, well, dangerous crazy, right? You have that shooting in Annapolis, Maryland, where some guy had a beef with the editors. Actually, he went and he shot up the place, and the guy he had beef with, really, he doesn't even work there anymore. So, but it's sad, you know, that we have a bunch of crazies who can't properly express themselves, or can't take losing, because they had written that he was harassing some lady, and then he actually pleaded guilty to it, and then he sued the paper. The judge actually declared that he had no clue what defamation of character is. And then we have that shooting that went on, right? But it's sad. We're going a little nuts here in America. I haven't seen any political leanings of the guy, which is kind of strange, right? Because if it was a Republican, all the media places would have it and claim that he had Trump on the brain. But let's see another news. I almost feel bad, you know, because I work in a liberal town, in the midst of a bunch of liberals, and to hear what everybody went through this, or to actually witness what everybody went through this week when Supreme Court Justice Kennedy decides he's retiring. It really hurt people. Almost like he was, you know, it was Obama who put him in as the justice of the, you know what I mean, of the Supreme Court justice. But he's a Reagan appointed Supreme Court justice. Reagan, they're not, you know, the Republicans don't have a shot or a chance right now to change Ruth Bader Ginsburg. They don't have a chance to change Sotomayor or Kagan. Relax. All he's doing is replacing a conservative pick with another conservative pick. Sure, it might be more conservative, and Kennedy has been known as the swing vote, but I think it's a lot of panic, much ado about nothing at all, you know? Because it's like people forget that Chief Justice Roberts, who was put in there by Bush, he's not exactly the most conservative person, right? He voted for Obamacare. He voted for Obama. He actually created Obamacare, Chief Justice Roberts, because when Obama and the Democrats pushed Obamacare through, they said it wasn't a tax, right? They said it wasn't a tax. They told the people. Talk about liar, right? The Obama administration told the people that this wouldn't be a tax on the American people. And then when it got up to the Supreme Court, they argued that it was a tax, right? And that is, you know, that's actually a very good point that I was about to make, but now I'm jumping on to another one. But anyway, so he argued it was a tax after telling the American people and campaigning that it wasn't a tax. And what it brings to mind is the travel ban that just passed, right? Because everybody is like, well, Trump lied. Oh, my God. He said it was a Muslim ban during the campaign. He said this during the campaign. Well, let's take everything a person says while they're campaigning and make it part of the record. See? But you can't do that when your side does the same thing. Obama said it wasn't a tax. Then he goes in front of the Supreme Court and argues that it was a tax. And Justice Roberts, not wanting to be his Supreme Court that knocks down Obamacare, the one legislative accomplishment that the first African American president had, he didn't want to be part of knocking it down. So he went liberal there and gave them one because it was, you know, they campaigned it wasn't a tax. But since we're going to call people liars, maybe since Obama lied and said it wasn't a tax, then he said it is a tax. Obama lied a lot. I say that because everybody said, oh, Trump lies, Trump lies. Trump exaggerates a lot. I admit that. But let's not pretend like Obama, Hillary, John Kerry, Susan Rice, who said Benghazi was because of a video, even knowing the intelligence on it. Let's not pretend that the Obama minister, James Clapper, who sat in front of Congress and said they don't collect America's data. Let's not pretend like the other administration was full of saints. Bunch of liars. A bunch of liars. But let's get back to the Supreme Court justice. So I'm hearing all of this. Everybody pulling their hair out or lighting themselves on fire over this. And like I said, Roberts, don't worry. He's going to be the swing vote. I see Roberts as, since Kennedy is leaving, actually appointing himself the swing vote because he can't help himself. You know? So, relax. Now, if Ruth Bader Ginsburg decides she's retiring, then light yourselves on fire. You know? Then you could lose it. I mean, I don't know. Democrats lose it these days for anything. They lose it these days for anything. But remember, all Trump is doing is replacing a Reagan pick. He's not replacing an Obama pick, a Bill Clinton pick. Relax. And hopefully in about, I don't know, let's see, Trump another 6 years, Pence 8 years, what is that, 14? Maybe in another 14 years you guys can rebound. All right, let's play some music. You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news. Breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave on WNHHLP 103.5 FM. Your home for community radio.
Cold soul, you can blame it on the streets. Hard as concrete, all I see is blood stained white sheets. Say they somebody dying, is bringing heat like the iron. And you ain't gotta have beef, still clapping, fucking fine. All I hear is sirens. Pray I ain't taking another loss. Life came with a course, and we all pay it. Names engraved, claim the graves that we laying. They gon' tell you they love you, won't tell you when they was hating. And I'm saying that's gon' fake it until they make it. The rest of us out here gon' get it, cause we gon' take it. Don't tell me what you got, tell me how you got it. That ain't the life you live, so how you figure you bought it. I'ma be real till I die. You say the same and I doubt it. You let the hype gas you up. I'm hot regardless without it. Never been the type to brag, but I got this in the bag. And I'm trying, boy, to go for it. I shit never had. Give my dad a bigger crib. Mama better way to live. My sister's the comfortability and not needing these niggas. Build me a house up on the mountain and some issues. Make it see through just to walk around but naked in that bitch. I deserve it. All the time I put in, hustling and grinding for ends, can't tell me I don't deserve it. All the time I put in, hustling and grinding for ends, can't tell me I don't deserve it. For every time I fought tears, feeling alone all these years, fighting and facing my fears, can't tell me I don't deserve it. All the time I fought tears, feeling alone all these years, fighting and facing my fears, can't tell me I don't deserve it. For every night I stayed up with a pain in my gut, cold wind in my strut, don't know where I'm going, but I'm going and I ain't looking back. Could only blame myself, thinking only if I could've took it back. I've been stupid, I've been foolish, but I'm growing, show improvement. If I got something to prove, then I'm proving it to myself. Then no matter how hard it get, I'ma play the cards that I dealt. Go hard for what I felt, but I'm feeling like killing everything in my path. Don't nothing last too long, even the pain stay strong till I'm under the grave and gone. Gotta get right for every time I did wrong. For every night I sat up like the cuff descended off. Got up from A4, standing tall, never gave up. Leave it to them to try to make it seem like they made us, cause they be showing love to disguise the fact that they hate us. Been in the game too long, nerve of them to try to play us. MVP most valid position, I'm comfortable wherever they couldn't fit in. You could have all the riches and be dead broke and need a fixin'. Tell me what's your intentions, why they try to change sneakers, I'm trying to change the conditions. I deserve it. All the time I put in, hustling and grinding for ends, can't tell me I don't deserve it. All the time I put in, hustling and grinding for ends, can't tell me I don't deserve it. For every time I fought tears, feeling alone all these years, fighting and facing my fears, can't tell me I don't deserve it. For all the time I fought tears, feeling alone all these years, fighting and facing my fears, can't tell me I don't deserve it. I deserve it.
The folks calling for stability might need to check their privilege.
And 25% of the country, whether it's 25, 20, 30%, are hardcore racist. They do not want to see brown people coming into America. That's just what's going on here.
If you vote for Trump, then you, the voter, you, not Donald Trump, are standing at the border like Nazis, going, you here, you here. And I think we now have to flip it. And it's a given, the evilness of Donald Trump.
Are they just the most stoic human beings? Are they numb? Are they dead inside?
We can't just do rallies. We have to fight back. There will be casualties on both sides.
Anybody who votes for and supports a racist is a racist. You are culpable, white America. I'm sorry. If you hold down the woman while the rapist is raping her, and you didn't rape her, are you a rapist?
Tens of millions of people voted for him after he showed his cards for years.
But are you, are you suggesting that they're racist, or they're...
Yes.
The people who vote, all the people who voted for Donald Trump are racist?
Yes.
Those people who are supporting what he's doing here are racist, period.
They should not be non-confrontational.
And so these policies that this administration is putting forth are intentionally cruel. They are racist, and it is our job as citizens to speak out against that. Now, does that mean that we're going to be violent? No. But does that mean that Sarah Sanders can have a nice, quiet dinner with her family when she's taking our tax dollars to implement this policy? I don't think so.
They're not going to be able to go to a restaurant. They're not going to be able to stop at a gas station. They're not going to be able to shop at a department store. The people are going to turn on them. They're going to protest. They're going to absolutely harass them.
But you guys were involved with Being Patriotic, right?
Very, very patriotic, but not...
Being Patriotic was the group that contacted and helped organize some of these activities that you posted on your own Facebook account.
Those were legitimate.
Those were Russians.
Thank you for calling the Red Hen Restaurant. If you are a Trump supporter, if you voted for Trump, or if you even smell like a Trump supporter, we will throw you out on your butt like we did Sarah Sanders.
President Walker, how do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
Certain individuals and institutions, we will, as per Chief Jim Hopper, punch some people in the face when they seek to destroy the weak and the disenfranchised and the marginalized. And we will do it all with soul, with heart, and with joy. We thank you for this responsibility. Thank you.
This economy is going pretty well. I feel like the bottom has to fall out at some point. And by the way, I'm hoping for it because I think one way you get rid of Trump is a crashing economy. So please bring on the recession. Sorry if that hurts people, but... All right, go.
I called the fake news the enemy of the people, and they are. They are the enemy of the people.
All right, you're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry A.K. the Brave. Now, these are, you heard that. Those were all Democrats. You had elected Democrats calling for you to harass people, get in their face. It's almost unbelievable how incredibly dumb these Democrats are, because either they're intentionally stupid or they're intentionally evil. Okay, because there's no reasoning with these people, right? So you're absolutely evil. You're racist if you voted for Trump. Now, I happen to be a Puerto Rican man who a lot of people have called me racist. I've gotten messages I'm racist, right? Now, here's the thing. And I asked them to point out to where it is that give me a couple of really good examples. And they always go back to Charlottesville, right? I say, show me where Trump was racist, where you can say he was blatantly racist and you don't have to read into a whole bunch of things. Read between lines that only you see, right? Or dog whistles that only you hear, right? That dog whistle stuff. The Democrats always seem to hear dog whistles. I guess because you're the dogs, right? But because Trump said there were good people and bad people on each side, that automatically declares him a racist, right? Or when Jake Tapper asked him about David Duke, which if you got, that was on a Sunday when he asked him about David Duke and his agenda, that Trump answers, I don't know anything about David Duke. And he was talking about Duke's agenda and whatever he stands for. He doesn't know anything about him. But the Friday before that interview with Tapper, Trump denounces David Duke. And Tapper knows this. But the media runs with the Sunday interview, snipped into whatever they want, right? They edited that clip and ran with it. Trump endorses Duke. A lie. And this is why the media is fake news. They've been running with fake news. Now, let's get back to Charlottesville. Now, there were white supremacists there, right? They applied for the license for their rally. Antifa comes, which are a bunch of loons, and nobody wants to call them what they are. They're a bunch of anarchists trying to destroy the system, and they disguise themselves under Antifa when all they do is act like violent fascists. That's what Antifa is, right? But they go picking for a fight, right? And some idiot white supremacist goes and runs somebody over. That's the story, right? If you let these white supremacists do their little rallies, or when the Ku Klux Klan has their little parades, you don't pay mind to them because they're less than 1% of America, right? If you don't pay mind to them, they'll go away. It's Antifa and all of these people, and the media especially, who try to make them relevant. They try to make them relevant just so they can try to attach them to Trump. But at that Charlottesville rally, protest, there were bad people on both sides. I don't know if there were good people on both sides, like Trump said. And I'm sure Trump doesn't know that. But there were bad people on both. Antifa is bad. And if you look up videos of how they act, there's plenty of videos showing you how they prep for these things. There have been undercover videos that has exposed them. Right? But there were bad guys on each side. And then one loon. But trying to attach that to Trump, if that's your argument, it's a very weak argument. That means you have nothing. You have actually nothing. But this is what they do. And then you have all of these Hollywood people. You heard Bill Maher praying, even though he doesn't believe in a God, he's praying for the destruction of our economy so that people could suffer. And that suffering lead to Donald Trump being gone. That's what's going on in America. It's the left that has lost its crap. It's the left. And I speak to a lot of the left who privately call for violence, right? They were all happy with Maxine Waters saying get into people's face. But I have an article there where Maxine Waters now has to stay in her house because she's getting so many death threats. You got to be careful what you wish for, Maxine and the left. Because there are crazies on everybody's side who will see it as a challenge. You have to be careful what you wish for. Saying that Sarah Sanders can't go out to eat with her family? That's the left who don't believe in free speech and freedom to do whatever you want. They know, the left says such outrageous things. They know that people could go and interrupt their lives at any time. Yet they call out, they call out to their crazies, their followers, to go and do it to Republicans. Be careful what you wish for. Karma is a bee. Karma is a bee. But, all right. You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
Mob attack that our people are confronted by every single day, every single week, every single month.
This used to be the land of opportunity. People used to strive for peace. We don't even use the word unity until till them guns release. Young kids dropping out of school, thinking they know it all, don't even know the rules. Grown men want to kill themselves for a cause. Innocent people losing their lives in the cause. History repeating itself, what are we doing? The revolution will be televised, still brewing. CNN cameras, satellite coverage. We heading for destruction, don't forget your luggage. Marvin Gaye's vision, what's going on? Back in 71, it's being reborn. We need to wake up, people getting shot dead. Homie lost his life for doing what the police said.
I just wanna know if we gonna last. The glass is half full, the bottom's coming fast. I just wanna know where's all the justice? Blaming on the system, no we can't trust it. I just wanna know if we gonna last. The glass is half full, the bottom's coming fast. I just wanna know where's all the justice? Blaming on the system, no we can't trust it. I just wanna know. Too much stress, but Lord knows we trying different drama every day. Too many young people dying, having conversations like, what happened to the youth? You really want to know? We stopped teaching them the truth. Took the power from the parents, took religion out of school. I just watched the fire challenge. Who's raising these fools? Damn. Too many cubs, no lions. Too many broken hearts and families crying. Damn. Will we ever be free at last? The way we going, I don't know if we gon' even last. Martin Luther still having dreams. Listen closely, you can hear the screams. Yeah. Violence all across your TV screens. Turn me into Malcolm by any means. Yeah, corruption busting through the seams. Hands up, screaming loud, don't kill my dream. If we gonna last, the glass is half full, the bottom's coming fast. I just wanna know where's all the justice? Blaming on the system, no we can't trust it. I just wanna know if we gonna last, the glass is half full, the bottom's coming fast. I just wanna know where's all the justice? Blaming on the system, no we can't trust it. I just wanna know
what was going through Ali's head when he fought and what they put into his head. Now that's allegedly, of course.
All right. What's up, New Haven? You're listening to Breaking News. Absolutely breaking the news. All right, so yesterday, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein was in front of Congress. Now, here's the interesting thing, right? Because, and the Democrats have done a good job of not allowing you to see what's happening in the Department of Justice and the FBI. The investigation that was done by the IG, the Inspector General, on whether the Hillary case was done properly and whether there was any bias in the case. The Inspector General is still investigating whether the Russian case and the obstruction of justice case against Trump were done legitimately, whether they were done out of bias, right? So anyway, we have the Deputy Attorney General yesterday sitting there in front of Congress. They've been asking, they've subpoenaed all the documents having to do with the investigation, because they're the oversight committee, right? So they get to actually ask the Department of Justice for whatever papers they want to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. Well, Rod Rosenstein, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, they've been blocking the release of these papers, and when they release papers, they're blocking out almost everything. So they even are taking out stuff that aren't pertinent to the case, like McCabe buying a $70,000 table, right? Because they didn't want to be embarrassed by the expenditure. So stuff like that doesn't need to be taken out, but they are. They're doing it, against what the Congress wants. The Congress just wants to see that the cases were started legitimately. And Rod Rosenstein is refusing to give up this paperwork, right? So that's my little setup for the clip I'm about to play with Trey Gowdy and Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. And this is interesting. This is something. It's a really good clip because it shows you the job of Congress as oversight over the Department of Justice, right? And the Department of Justice is acting like they don't have to answer to Congress, which is wrong. They legally do. So here goes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Russia investigation has been going on for almost 2 years now. Special counsel's investigation has been going on for over a year now. For most Americans, it's important to know what Russia did to our country in 2016 and with whom, if anyone, they did it. When a foreign state interferes with our democratic electoral process, it should be a chance of a lifetime for a law enforcement agent to investigate that, except apparently the one that was actually picked to investigate it. That was Peter Strzok. FBI agent Peter Strzok was picked to lead the FBI's investigation into what Russia did in July of 2016. It was a counterintelligence investigation begun in late July 2016, and he was leading it. And at about the exact same time he was picked to lead it, this dispassionate and fair FBI agent was calling Trump a disaster, destabilizing for the country. I'll leave out all the adjectives he used to describe that. I'll just go with disaster and destabilizing. Same time, his FBI lawyer girlfriend, Lisa Page, was telling him he was meant to protect the country. This neutral, dispassionate FBI agent said, I can protect the country at many levels. Same time, Peter Strzok, who was picked to objectively, fairly, neutrally look into the Russia investigation, was talking about an insurance policy with Andy McCabe and Lisa Page in the event Donald Trump became the president. All of this was happening at the same time Peter Strzok said he could smell the Trump support in Southern Virginia. All of this was at the same time that this FBI agent said a Trump presidency would be effing terrifying and that it will never happen. No, we'll stop it. So while investigating Russia and their attempt to subvert our democracy may have been important to the rest of the country, it wasn't all that important to about a half dozen FBI agents and lawyers who were assigned to the case. For them, it was an investigation to stop Donald Trump, which then brings us to May of 2017 and the appointment of special counsel, where we find Peter Strzok again, this same supposed to be dispassionate, neutral, fair FBI agent. You would think he'd be really excited about investigating what a foreign power tried to do to this country. But you would be wrong again for Peter Strzok at precisely the same time that Bob Mueller was appointed. Precisely the same time. Peter Strzok was talking about his unfinished business and how he needed to fix and finish it so Donald Trump did not become president. He was talking about impeachment within 3 days of special counsel Mueller being appointed. 3 days. That's even quicker than MSNBC and the Democrats were talking about impeaching him. Within 3 days, the lead FBI agent is talking about impeaching the president. So this is where we are. We're 2 years into this investigation. We're a year and a half into the presidency. We're over a year into special counsel. You have a counterintelligence investigation that's become public. You have a criminal investigation that's become political. You have more bias than I have ever seen manifest in a law enforcement officer in the 20 years I used to do it for a living. And 4 other DOJ employees who had manifest animus towards the person they were supposed to be neutrally and detachedly investigating. Democrats are using this investigation as a presumption of guilt, which I find astonishing. And in the long run, for the health of this republic, I would encourage them to go back to the presumption of innocence that we used to hold sacred. There's a presumption of guilt. There's a desire by Democrat senators to fundraise off of your investigation. More than 60 Democrats have already voted to proceed with impeachment before Bob Mueller has found a single solitary damn thing. More than 60 have voted to move forward with impeachment, and he hasn't presented his first finding. So I'm going to say this to you, Mr. Wray, Mr. Rosenstein. I realize that neither one of you were there when this happened, but you're both there now. Russia attacked this country. They should be the target, but Russia isn't being hurt by this investigation right now. We are. This country is being hurt by it. We are being divided. We've seen the bias. We've seen the bias. We need to see the evidence. If you have evidence of wrongdoing by any member of the Trump campaign, present it to the damn grand jury. If you have evidence that this president acted inappropriately, present it to the American people. There's an old saying that justice delayed is justice denied. I think right now all of us are being denied. Whatever you got, finish it the hell up, because this country is being torn apart. I would yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Woo! You could find the look. That's Trey Gowdy talking to Attorney General, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein and FBI Director Christopher Wray. Right? Because this is an investigation that seems to have no ending and also seems to have no evidence, right? They're going after things that aren't even in the scope of the investigation, which was collusion and obstruction of justice. But it's interesting because you got to see this hearing, because they even attack or go over the obstruction of justice. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein is the one that signed a memo to the president saying that James Comey should be fired. He signs a memo that actually suggests the firing of James Comey. Trump fires James Comey and they start an obstruction of justice investigation. It's insane. It's insane. And then this same guy who writes the letter is signing off on these investigations when he should clearly recuse himself. He should clearly recuse himself from these investigations, since his memo is part of the evidence. So if he's part of the evidence, he can't lead an investigation. It's simple. Not for Democrats. For Democrats, it's kind of hard. It takes them a while to catch up. But it was an excellent hearing. It was an excellent hearing. That was Trey Gowdy, Representative Trey Gowdy. Excellent. You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the mainstream media with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM. Okay. I was about to play some music. Okay. You're listening to Breaking News.
You got the thing that I want. It's the way that you move it, and don't you stop what you're doing, 'cause I love watching how you move to the beat, the beat, the beat. I can't help it but to stare. Got the temperature rising up in here, and this beautiful woman everywhere. But you're the only one that sees. I gotta get you alone. Let's find a place we can go. And I don't care who knows. 'Cause I gotta get you close to me. I gotta get you alone. Let's find a place we can go. And I don't care who knows. 'Cause I gotta get you close to me. You
listening to Breaking News on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. All right, let's go to an article in the Washington Post. Aaron Blake, 15 Democrat top 15 hopefuls for 2020. It's an interesting list. And this list actually tells me the Democrats are in serious trouble. If these are your hopefuls, you are in major trouble. Right? You have number 1, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, right? And he writes, until he signals he may not run or gets into real trouble, Sanders has the best chance. So, Bernie Sanders, who basically is open borders, give everything free, and has no clue on how to pay for anything he promises, right? And then you have to remember that Bernie Sanders is the one that said in the early 2000s that the American dream didn't exist here in America. It existed in Venezuela. Go check out Venezuela right now. If that's your American dream, I suggest you move over there. Don't make this Venezuela. But that's your number 1 pick. Let's go to the next one. Number 2, Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, a.k.a. Pocahontas. Elizabeth Warren, who actually claimed to be Native Americans in job applications and in possible college applications in order to get special treatment. Elizabeth Warren, a.k.a. Pocahontas. And then you have my favorite, former Vice President Joe Biden. I would love to see a Joe Biden Trump race. Because Joe Biden, he's an interesting dude, right? He says, you think Trump has problems with his mouth. Joe Biden has diarrhea of the mouth. And he says the most idiotic things. And one of them was calling Barack Hussein Obama a clean black person who can articulate. So that's Joe Biden. And he says a lot of crazy things. That's a simple one right there. And then Joe Biden, the sexually harassing Joe Biden. Go and look up on YouTube Joe Biden touching little girls, touching women. Joe Biden can't help but grope people. Go look it up. I can't. I would love this race. Joe Biden. And then you have at number 4, California Senator Kamala Harris. Very beautiful lady. That's about it for Kamala Harris. Very liberal. I think just the other day she called for ICE to be, dismantled. No more ICE. No more people protecting our borders. No more people actually looking at, actually arresting criminals around the country who are here illegally, which Americans want. Americans want to live in a safe society where we don't have people out there illegally trafficking children and everything. And ICE is the one that goes after them. But Kamala Harris doesn't like that, I guess. Whatever. The Democrats are kind of crazy, right? They don't like separating children. But they want open borders but but they want open borders so that children could get trafficked. Because the only way to protect these children who are getting trafficked is to close our borders. But the Democrats see that as a casualty of their war. A couple of children, some children get trafficked, sex trafficked. Oh, well, at least we got a couple of them who stay with their mothers. But 12,000 kids are being held in these detention camps, right? Out of those 12,000, 10,000 are unaccompanied minors. Unaccompanied minors that come over with coyotes, with the cartel, that are sex trafficked. So that means that there's more sex trafficking than those who come with their parents. But that's okay for Democrats. Democrats don't care about children. All right. And then we have crying Cory Booker, Senator, New Jersey Senator Cory Booker. I like Cory Booker. He runs into burning buildings and saves people. At least he did when he was mayor over there in New Jersey. I actually do. I like Cory Booker. He cries too much, or he fakes. I think he must be taking acting classes because he's getting a little better at it. So, Cory Booker, not a serious candidate, but like him. Then, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. I don't know how the Democrats are gonna. She's number 6. Cory Booker number 5. She's number 6. So, Kirsten Gillibrand, who brought the Me Too movement to the Senate and threw Bill Clinton under the bus. She threw him under the bus, drove over him, then backed up over him. So I don't know how she'd do, because the Democrats love their sexual predators. Democrats love theirs. They just want to get rid of yours. So, and then, of course, Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy, who wants to take away everybody's gun in America. Chris Murphy, who is no way, it's going to be almost impossible for him to win anything in middle America with his message of taking away your guns. But I like Chris Murphy. I've met him. He's actually a cool dude. Wouldn't vote for him. And then it gets crazy. Number 8, ex-governor, former governor of Virginia, Terry McCullough, who was actually under investigation, right? Who was actually under investigation for fraud or money laundering over there in Virginia as the governor. And McCabe, Andrew McCabe, the deputy FBI director who got fired, his wife took close to $800,000 from Terry McCullough, and the investigation against McCullough went away, right? And then McCabe went and sabotaged the Hillary Clinton case, and McCullough is a Clintonite. He worked for Bill Clinton, worked with Hillary Clinton, so he's there. He's always been there, right? And he was paying people off, McCabe's wife and everything. Anyway, so you see, it starts getting really crazy from here. Let's see, 8, McCullough. Then New York Mayor Andrew Cuomo. Forget about it. Andrew Cuomo. Not a serious contender either. And then, the best one on the list, former Attorney General, U.S. Attorney General, Eric Holder. An absolute radical, Eric Holder. Fast and Furious Eric Holder, who ran guns into Mexico, killed Mexicans, killed border agents, and then went in front of Congress and lied. and held in contempt of Congress. Love Eric Holder. Well, would love to see him run, at least. Don't love Eric Holder. And then the others don't matter because they're not well-known names. New Orleans Mayor Mitch Landrieu, and, well, he's number 13. Then, of course, we know her name. Number 14 is Oprah Winfrey. Who wouldn't vote for Oprah? You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Yeah, I don't think Oprah will be giving away anything if she becomes president. I think Oprah will become a serious person after she becomes president. Oprah would have to actually govern the United States, which means actually doing your job and not just saying pleasant things that everybody could agree with and follow, right? Be a different game. And number 15 was Montana Governor Steve Bullock. Oh, my time is up. You've been listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry A.K. The Brave. I enjoyed it, but I got to get out of here. On WNHHL, you've been listening on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. Harry Droz, out.
Of a man is the rudder of the boat, but the Lord of all is its pilot.
This show is a rebroadcast of our 2017 Summer Food Finds episode. It was our first ever Food Squad show, and it was so good we just had to share it again. For 2018 dates of any event mentioned on the show, go to thetableunderground.com.
I'm feeling goods where all of your cash went. Not chakra alignment or inward refinement. Trying to find one word to describe men. Better yet, can one consciousness unify them? Pondering on these questions is where my time spent. Creative process believing. Greatness got to achieve it. Ideas we believe in.
Get off the radio side. Still on the Facebook side. But
not consumed by the lust for
that list is very interesting. When you think about what the Democrats have on their bench, it's not much. You guys better go find yourself a Barack Obama. Hope and change. Sell a message, unrealistic messages about you lowering the seas. You know, promising the Hispanics comprehensive immigration reform. You have a supermajority and do nothing about it. Deliver nothing for the Hispanics. Oh, people are like too. Maybe we should impeach them for lying to the Hispanics about comprehensive immigration reform. He told them it would be the first thing he does. He lied, right? I think he lied. At least I think he lied. Let me check. Now I can get out of here. Now I can get out of here. Thank you for listening.
Old shells are highly prized.
You know, breaking news.
And this one
absolutely breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave. See ya.